Hi everybody, it's Dr. Lisa Ann Homick from Homick Advanced Chiropractic, and this is Brain Snob, episode number 60. Now I am a chiropractor, but you cannot receive a chiropractic adjustment through that video. You do have to come to the office. And what's so great about chiropractic? Well, an adjustment is the most profound way to reset the nervous system. Nothing else resets the nervous system like a chiropractic adjustment. If it can wake up somebody in a coma, what are you waiting for? I utilize the BFA protocol, brain first always, and that incorporates a lot of hands-on, low-tech approaches you can put into your lifestyle to make your chiropractic more nuclear, more explosive, so your progress is very fast. You've got the healing power, but a lot of people don't believe it because they haven't actually experienced accelerated healing, amazing healing. So I want you to experience that, and it all starts in the brain. The master system is your nervous system, the brain and spinal cord. Start at the top. We use chiropractic because the spine are the access points to your brain. So let's get started and do some brain thinking, because a lot of us have impaired brains and we don't know it, or we just muddle through our life. And today I wanted to talk about Abbey Sharp, who has her own YouTube channel, and she made a video last week about something she tried as an experiment or a habit change. And I wanted to make a response because I know I don't talk about my patients here in these videos because it is confidential. We do a lot of fun stuff here, and maybe I'll have somebody interviewed who will join me on a video. That would be interesting. When I can work that into everything I have going on. But she has told her story publicly, and I want to respond to it because I think you can relate to it. But she made a video, and the exact title is, and I probably didn't write it down, but she talked about anxiety, social media. Oh, I wrote it down. She detoxed from social media. I think that's the title. And it's last week. Look up Abbey Sharp on YouTube. And I wanted to respond to it because she did focus on a lot of things I think we're all going through. And I wanted to make my comments about the brain. Put the brain first in your mind when you want to talk about your health, when you want to deal with good health progress. So let's talk about it. She mentions anxiety, social media, and pressure. She gave up social media for 2 weeks. She deleted things off of her phone. And I thought that was an interesting thing to start with because we all do it. It's been incorporated in our lifestyles. You can shop with an app. You can do your banking with an app. Well, yeah, you can catch the news in your app, and we make up a lot of our own news. I mean, that's the whole point of my YouTube video here. I'm making my own news stories to add to the plethora of what's out there in the internet. But I want to get local people interested in chiropractic care. And if you're not local, you can still participate with online coaching and the BFA coaching service that I offer. And you can do that long distance. The only thing is you can't get adjusted. But she talked about the public scrutiny of being an on-air personality in her hometown and being on the internet. And she talked about how she needs to just be enough. And she had to prioritize her well-being. And the main thing, as she talked about, was having insomnia. Now, if you're not sleeping properly, that's one of my BFA protocol approaches. You need sleep. And insomnia, there's a lot of causes, but your brain is impaired. In fact, your brain is probably fried. So let's focus back on the brain and look at how to approach that. And she did get off of the apps, and I think she purposely did that because of the insomnia. And she said she was kind of getting anxious about that. And let me tell you, anxiety is a brain problem. It's also a sign of an impaired brain. And there are chiropractic things we do for anxiety. There's a whole lot of nutritional things we can do for anxiety because it's a clue that your liver is overwhelmed and cannot detox all the cellular metabolites, all the end products of your cellular activity, because you're making energy, and every time you make energy, there's waste. and your body has to get rid of that waste. And certain diets actually make you build up that waste. So it's harder to get rid of. And anxiety is one of the symptoms. For other people, it's muscle pain. For other people, it's digestive disorders. So I have the 5 annoying clues that you're brain impaired. And what are they? Do you remember? Joint pain, fatigue, and I throw in shortness of breath with that, digestive disturbances, anxiety because of brain fog, because when you get forgetful, that makes you nervous, and you develop a lot of anxiety. And what was the 5th one? Oh my gosh, let's quiz my brain. Hypertension, can't leave that one out. So the annoying symptoms, I want you to consider brain health. If you have any of those things, focus on making the brain better. So she got off the apps for a while, and she called it a social media detox. And I think besides the apps and besides social media, we need to clear our plate of things that aren't advantageous to us. We get into the habit of doing things over and over again, maybe out of habit because we had an obligation in the past and it's just the way you do things, but you need to clear things off your plate, meaning activities. Some things you should just say no to because you can't make room for the new if you still have the old. But if you're overdoing things, your nervous system is overloaded, that is a problem. And one of the easiest things, it's not easy, I lied, because people are very hesitant to take something off their plate that they've been doing, whether it's a family tradition or other people would get upset. Well, why are you changing? Why are you stopping? Why aren't you doing this? You get a lot of blowback, and that's the problem. But you need to clear your plate. So Abbey Sharp cleared her plate of the apps and all that electronic stuff, because that does mess with your brain. You're overthinking all the time. Your brain doesn't get to turn down. And you know everything about the blue light and all that stuff affecting your brain as well. And what she did notice is that she actually developed a better relationship with her child. She made more time for her child, and she even noticed that the children's nanny, the father, everybody else seemed to take a higher priority in this child's mind, because she said she's also pressured with her career. And that is something that needs to be balanced very, very carefully when you have a little child. And she did notice she had more playtime. She had more intimate, and she used that word, she had more intimate time with her child other than the usual getting dressed, changing diapers, feeding. It became more of, I'm going to get to know my child. I'm going to get to know my child's personality. I'm not just here to provide for the survival needs of my child. I'm going to develop a warm, loving relationship. And I think we lose that. We lose that with our older children, maybe our adult children. We lose it with our own parents. Make time. Make time for your family. And if you're not, it's going to put a toll on your brain because everything's out of balance. And sometimes you trade another habit for another. She said she got off the social media apps. And this is funny, but she started going to shopping sites because she did have this desire to still do something on her screen, on her tablet, laptop, whatever. So she was looking at shopping sites. Now I know that will save you time. You can find things that are not in your local area. It's a time saver. You don't have to be traipsing from parking lot to parking lot going to every store. You can get exactly what you want, and that's wonderful. But I got a kick out of that when she said she visited shopping sites instead of social media sites. So be careful if you're trading one habit for another. Make sure it's really going to boost your health and boost your overall well-being. And that was cute. And let's see. So she did feel she was a better mom, and that's huge. And for women, they're pressured to be everything at all times for everybody, and the baby gets neglected. I mean, they're quiet, they don't know how to talk yet, and they have a different way of communicating, and you need that time with your child. The first 5 years of life is so important for a child. We've got to be there physically. We've got to be there physically and mentally, and we can't, you know, take that for granted. And so always, always make sure your family is prioritized, and because you can be replaced at your job easily. You can be fired. Somebody can come in and do the job. They'll interview right away. But you cannot replace your family. That's the most special thing. And a job is a job. They come and go. You can find a new one very easily. And I mean, and I'm in business for myself here, and sometimes I say, I don't have to. I can go and do something else. But I like this because I have the flexibility to do things like make a video and to take my son to basketball practice. That's important to me. So your time management is also part of your health, but family first, because all the other stuff you can fit in, you can figure it out, or you clear it right off your plate. And so she also mentioned her own baby grabbed the phone. And she said her son, I think, is 20 months old now, but her own baby was grabbing screens. What is that telling us? We got to put the brakes on this. Our brains are going to be impaired by the electronics, by the stimulation, because it messes with our dopamine, but it's taking us away from the other important things in life. So different ways of looking at brain impairment, different ways of actually putting more health back into your lifestyle, and go check it out. The title of her YouTube video is Insomnia, Anxiety, Well-Being, and Work-Life Balance. And it starts up here, because you can't think clearly if you've got the oxygen removed from your prefrontal cortex. You can't make good decisions for yourself and your family if your brain is impaired. Move that brain, feed that brain, and talk to that brain. And I teach you how to do that here in the office, because I want you to be a brain snob so you can be that positive ripple effect in your community. So watch more of my videos, put in some comments, click it, like it, subscribe to it, all the things you're supposed to do. And come to me with your questions. And I do BFA coaching also, and it's kind of fun because now you can customize what you specifically need by focusing on your brain. Put your brain first, and you can make these great changes, because your brain makes your body, you make your life. Thanks for watching.